Hey, what's up guys? We're back again with my main deck in Clash Royale that I just won 11 matches in a row with on ladder. I was grinding Clash Royale for 4 hours in a row without having dinner, and it was like 7 or 8 p.m. and I lost every game I played. And as soon as I switched to this deck, live streaming with you guys, screwing around and reading chat, playing this game without thinking, I was winning everything on autopilot because recruits carried me through, Ram Riders were charging ridiculously quick, and flying machines and evolved bombers could not be stopped by opponents. This deck is played by the ranked 4 player in the world. And even though Clash Royale nerfed Ram Rider and Goblinstein, they didn't nerf them in the right way. So this deck will remain one of the strongest in the game for a lot longer. Ram Riders will always somehow still stumble onto the tower with ridiculous charge value, and Goblinstein's powerful ability will stay lucrative. Let's charge up the ranks and assert dominance with this easy, undefeated deck. So after our live stream where we won 11 games in a row, we are matching into a ranked 600 player. So I want to go in for a bomber in the back here and just see what we can do. Possibly we can go in for a Goblinstein if our opponent applies too much pressure. And I gotta talk about why Cannoneer is so impactful in this deck. If you don't have a good answer to evolve P.E.K.K.A, because this deck doesn't really have that high damage per second to melt tank decks, you gotta be running Cannoneer. Even after the evolve P.E.K.K.A nerf, usually Cannoneer works pretty well at managing Goblin Giants, Electro Giants, regular Giants, and of course evolve P.E.K.K.As and evolve Mega Knights. So if you're able to afford to put that in your deck, because you have Goblinstein, Arrows, Rage, Bomber, like look at how many splash damage sources I have, I should be fine against bait cards. So because of that, I can afford to go and run a devilish combination of Ram Rider and Cannoneer. So we can use the Ram Rider to slow down our opponent's win conditions while the Cannoneer crushes them. And that's one of my favorite things to do with this deck. Also, as you guys saw, the Ram Rider's biggest problem for the entire time it was overpowered and still is overpowered is its charge. It charges way too fast. So Clash Royale decided to nerf its damage 6%, which isn't that impactful. If you nerf a card's damage, but it still does the thing that it's broken about, then you gotta nerf that thing. So a lot of the pros, as I was talking about earlier, really dislike how Clash Royale handled the situation. And personally, yeah, I agree with them. I think that Ram Rider is gonna be broken, but hey, I played in a ton of my decks, so maybe I'm slightly more okay with it than them. I just hate losing to it, to be honest. So it makes sense. It makes sense that, you know, Ram Rider is still going to be one of the most dominant cards in the game. And this guy's good. So rank 600 player, he's giving us no real opportunity to break through just yet. I have to earn my opportunities to win the game, even against someone of this caliber. It's not going to be that easy. 600 in the world is still one of the best players in the game, I would say, at least by my standards. So we're going to use our Evo Bomber, and we're going to splash onto his, and that's going to be great. We're going to pop the ability, and then we're going to go, we're going to make him pop the ability, and then we're going to go Goblin Cage. So the way I see this is if we're matching into someone with Graveyard Poison, it's probably better for us to keep this Fly Machine alive if we can, and we do! Let's go! I was risking it for a second. I was like, hey, if this works out, it'd be pretty funny, because then he has to go and spend a bunch of extra elixir that he doesn't want to. He could Graveyard me at any twist and turn, and the issue with this matchup in particular is we've got Cannoneer and he's got Graveyard. So I would say that the matchup is definitely in his favor, but I still think that we can climb out of this with a victory if I play well enough. So I'm going to Random Rider here because he doesn't have his Goblinstein ability, or he doesn't have the Goblinstein to reset, so he's going to have to use Cannon. Then we can use Arrow's Rage, kill that, and have the Ram Rider charge on the tower, and force out a bunch of extra elixir with the Ice Wizard. So notice how I use the double small spells to find a pathway through. That is what we had to do. I'm also going to go in for a Bomber and probably a Fly Machine off to the side. I need to sprinkle in some extra damage against these skeletons because I can't really rely on the Bomber for all that. Going to also go in for a Ram Rider again because we have the evolved recruits rushing through and arrows possibly on a cannon. I think we might get him. I hope this works. I think we got him. Rank 600 player down. Let's go. Imagine if he stayed alive at 1 HP because his tower showed 1 HP. Because the Ram Rider nerf, like, oh my gosh. That would have been so sad if the game trolled us at 1 HP with the Ram Rider barely not doing enough damage. We had a lot of damage loading in anyway, so it wasn't a problem though. And Guy was nowhere near our Cannoneer with Graveyard Skeletons. Despite him being a rank 600 player against Cannoneer with Graveyard, we still pulled out the clutch W. And we're reinforcing our ranks with Royal Recruits pushing up to 4,700 in the world. Time to continue the climb and the streak out here. We're playing against someone from Midwinter Fire. So if this guy is going to be springing some wizards at us, it's not that scary since we do have the nice ability to go in for Fly Machines to snipe them with an extra long range. I like using my Fly Machines mostly in the middle to go and counter buildings. But you can also do that against wizards that are perfectly positioned to go and hit both sides of the recruits. So right now, we're going to try to get directly on top of that cannon with our fly machine. And then if we get an archer queen like that, that's totally fine, because the archer queen will start going to the left side. And we will be able to go in for a Goblinstein here and just defend against the archer queen with a minimal elixir investment of a bomber. So the reason we're playing so aggro right now is because I can guarantee that we're going to force out a bunch of extra elixir that our opponent doesn't want to drop. You think about it from the standpoint of, oh, he doesn't have cannon mid-cycle, Goblinstein is going to get gobs of damage. And then you can defend against the Royal Hogs with a Goblin Cage and then be totally fine here. So because he's got Earthquake, it's not like he kills the Goblin Cage Brawler, so the Brawler would guarantee he stays alive. Or we can go for recruits and build up a big push if we have even more of a time to deal with. So I'm going to go for recruits right now, a little bit more in front, because I didn't know if he's going to drop his Royal Hogs at that exact moment. If you drop them in the back and then they go Royal Hogs, it's a horrible interaction. So don't like when that happens. Smart decision from our opponent. He does captivate everything that we own. But at the same time, the good thing is the fly machine will lock onto the Archer Queen very quickly, forcing the ability early. Also, it's not like he can apply pressure with this Archer Queen, because if he does, we go Goblinstein, click the ability, and then everything dies. Also, if he goes other side, we still have bombers. So we have built-in defense against some of the most defensive decks in the game that are just super cycly with their win conditions. Whether it's Goblin Drill or it's going to be Royal Hogs, the Bomber is one of the best and cheapest ways of defending against those cards. Another reason that I just really like this deck in general. You've got the Ram Rider, which is a better alternative of defending against balloon decks. When you only really have Goblin Cage to pull and Cannoneer to damage things down, you can at least slow things down with the Ram Rider so you don't have as worse of a matchup as you used to have into people that were running air decks. But yeah, he has to log this, and if he doesn't, oh my gosh, just look at how badly those piggies performed into the Bomber. Y'all might not think that that would be a thing that would happen, but that's exactly what goes down. So we're going to probably get a good arrows here on a cannon and an Archer Queen. Oh, I should have raged, I think. Oh, never mind. Wait, what? What the heck? Dude wasn't ready. His body wasn't braced for that level of spell value. And now he's raging in real life as we drop the rage. That was insane. This guy is so angry right now. Every single thing that could have went wrong sung the saddest song for our homie. Legitimately, his piggies got burnt to a crisp in bacon mode, and then we were shaking and baking near the tower with units that he couldn't counter. He was trying to go and stop us from dancing, and we started dancing on this guy's grave. He just wasn't able to dig himself out of the situation. The fact that the Rage cleaned up the Evo Bomber when the arrows nicked them and did a little bit of damage was pretty funny, but you also have to account for the fact that Ram Rider plus Rage kills cards quickly too. Like Dark Goblins, Princesses, and Bombers are not safe when you go for the Ram Rider and Rage on top of any cheap card. Ram Rider plus Rage even does enough damage to one-shot Ice Spirits so then they can't freeze the Ram Rider. And since the Ram Rider is moving faster after the Rage, it gives the opponent less time to react, making them even more angry. That easy win puts us at 3,900 in the world. All right, we got a game against Molly. So first play for us is going to be cycling our recruits after we wait a split second. I actually hate cycling recruits first play in the back at the very first second that you get them, because there's going to be situations where your opponent decides to spam the bridge like an absolute animal. There's a lot of maniacs on ladder. I might be one of them sometimes. You guys might be as well. Rage filled after you lose a game, you're super angry and you're just like, screw it, I'm going to full send and win this match. And then when you do, then either you win or lose based off of your starting hand and what your opponent has in their card cycle. It's like not the right way to play Clash Royale, but if you just want to see what happens and see if you're lucky or not, if you want to test your luck, spamming at the bridge is a strategy that a lot of people do. So I will never cycle my recruits in the back at the very first second. Always wait 2 or 3 seconds, see if my opponent goes Bandit or Elite Barbarians or drops like Lumberjack Balloon, which is the most common strat that people just do. I can't believe it, but that is a play. Anyway, we're going to go in for our Royal Recruits here, and with a Goblin Cage Brawler counter pushing, this is going to be horrible for our homie. I was expecting to stop the charged recruits that are raged up so they move even faster, and also we have a Goblin Cage Brawler helping out here too. Phenomenal arrows value for me, and look at that. His red tower is in the red. It is taking a tremendous amount of damage. Also, I dislike my game plan here. That is going to hit my tower. I'm a dum-dum. But it didn't hit my bomber. So maybe like half a point there, maybe? I don't think so. I don't deserve any points, but like let's give me some love. I did get a lot of Goblinstein love on those goblins, so we were able to gobble them up fortunately and preserve the lower HP tower. because when you go in for a revolve goblin barrel, it is something that I have to fully defend because my cannoneer doesn't do well into that. However, it does fantastically against P.E.K.K.A. You also have to compensate for the bad matchup of against bait. So that's why we have so many small spells in our deck. We're going to go Goblin Cage here. We should be good on this defensive end. I don't think we're going to take a tremendous amount of damage. And also, I don't think it's worthwhile raging up the Cannoneer because the Cannoneer one-shots the Goblins anyway. So I'd rather rage on offense and see what we can get done with the Goblin Cage Brawler. Especially if my opponent has Evolved Valkyrie, I need to put him in his place and kill that Valkyrie quick. Because with the daggers out of the arsenal, like, it's going to be difficult for our dude to stop the spam. I can go Goblinstein at the bridge, but first and foremost, I want to do this. So then I can arrows and then keep the fly machine locked onto the tower, get my opponent in a position where they're probably going to cycle back to cannon, but I can Ram Rider on the cannon, rage up the Ram Rider, and kill the princess as well. So that's the game plan. Unless the bomber does it itself. Oh my gosh. Wait, there's no way. The Ram Rider, it's so dumb. See, they nerfed the wrong thing. They nerfed its damage potential. But Ram Rider still does Ram Rider things, rushes through and reliably wrecks the tower what feels like every single time. Guys, I never thought we'd be competing for an Oscar so soon. Let's get it. So I am trying to complete it. Maybe we can go in for a Goblin Cage or, no, actually guys, we got a full send out here with the recruits. Because if I try anything else, I won't have the beef that is able to tank for this fly machine. I can guarantee you that this guy is going to have something obnoxious. I just don't know what he's packing. I'm also going to go arrows a little bit earlier, so maybe we're going to be able to clean those up so the Night Witch bats aren't so much of a problem. And I can rage, so then the fly machine is able to one-tap the rest of the little pups. You know the good thing? Goblinstein dies so fast to the Cannoneer, so it's not like I have to defend that. I can just let that go. He's done a lot of damage there on the right side. I actually hope he pops ability. If he pops ability, I go Ram Rider with Goblinstein, and I guarantee the tower. I'm waiting to see if that's what he wants to do. Could also go Bomber, wait and see if he Lava Hounds, and then go Recruits. Majority of them, stack 4 of them on the other side. Ideally, I can go 4 of them in the right and then 2 in the left. Oh, that wasn't a Lava Hound. It was an Inferno Dragon. Bro loaded in the other thing that I didn't want to see. Oh, that's unbelievable. It's still fine for me, though. I can go for a Ram Rider. It will be able to finish off the Barbarians a bit faster and also put us in a position where I can arrows on the Night Witch. Genuinely, I don't think this is bad. The only thing I dislike about our situation is the fact that I might have to rage on defense so that the Cannoneer doesn't die. Oh my goodness. I don't know if that was necessary. I just had bad interactions with Inferno Dragon. I've been scarred. My mental has been melted. It is one of the worst ways of losing in Clash Royale, having a 1 HP card take your entire tower. Y'all let me know down below in the comment section what traumatizes you more, Inferno Dragons or Mighty Miners with freeze. I think that Mighty Miner is still etched into my brain as the most traumatizing because when it was overpowered and it rushed towards the tower really fast, that left a imprint on my brain for forever. I don't think we're ever going to get that away from my mental. All right, so he's got arrows, kind of to be expected. That's fine. I'm going to savor the decision of going in for probably recruits or arrows. Actually, yeah, you know, I'm going to sack most of the tower here, and then I'm going to go for recruits. Should be able to rile up a nice defense here. Possibly with arrows if I need to, but I'm not gonna. I think it's better for us to keep our elixir and then try to go in for a Ram Rider instead. We'll see how this goes because he doesn't have the correct card cycle right now. Like, the Barbarians are super far away, so if the Ram Rider hits the tower, like, the dude has to overspend to defend this. I can almost guarantee he's gonna Lava Hound in the middle. Yeah, that's what I would have done too. Because you have counter-pushing cards, you might as well use them to your advantage. So I'm gonna make sure that I get a good arrows here, I think. Or maybe not. Wow, I guess I'm always against arrowing when I have cards tanking because I would waste elixir, right? So I'm just wondering how much this guy can commit. I don't know. He might lightning or something on this. Does he have the juice? Yeah, he does have the lightning juice. That's unfortunate. But we can still go here, go for a fly machine, and then arrows. Or rage, actually. Always raging with the Ram Rider. We didn't get the connection, though. What? Yo, was there a secret nerf to my Ram Rider? For the first time in its life, it didn't get the connection. What the heck? That's crazy. Okay, all right, that's actually the first time that that's ever happened. We're gonna try to go pop an ability if we need to. Or we could just push the doctor far enough away that we could... Yeah, no, we're gonna pop ability 100%. Kills everything. Still does way too much damage. As you guys can see, we melted the entire lava push. So not that much of a concern for me. I bet you he goes Barbarians, so I think it's in our best interest to not overcommit with the Ram Rider just yet. We want to kill the Barbarians with the Fly Machine and then pile on more pressure afterward. I think that's going to be our best way to win this. We're going to rage up the fly machine here as well. And then we'll see how this goes. But as long as he doesn't get a lava hound in the middle, we're totally fine. Okay, yeah, we're fine. We go goblin cage here. Fly machine or recruits. Probably recruits. Precedence on that. Because we need to have more distractions and more bodies in the arena. Then we can go for a Ram Rider because he's down a bunch of elixir. And we can rage up these so then they can kill. Yeah, we should be good. I don't think the Ram gets a connection, but it does! Woohoo! The one time I think it doesn't happen, it happens. Let's go. All right. Say less, Ram Rider. We might be able to get back to another one too, because the way I see it, he's not back to barbarians, and we can rage this one up. We're an angry individual with a bomber as well, splashing onto the tower. I think we got it locked up, baby. Light work. So if you match into barbarians and also Goblinstein, those are two tremendous answers to the Ram Rider. Goblinstein Doctor resets your Ram Rider, and also he has the potential of just using barbarians to straight up kill them. But if you play aggressive enough and don't overcommit at the wrong points directly into a lightning like I did, then the game should be pretty easy. Ram Rider recruits forces opponents to stay in a perpetual position of paranoia, where they're forced to defend and can't allocate all their elixir on offense. The little bit of elixir that they can afford to throw behind a Lava Hound will always get cleaned up by your Fly Machine, Cannoneer, and arrows. Once you pop a Lava Hound with a Fly Machine and Cannoneer's damage, if you arrows on the Lava Pups, you'll also hit the units behind it, so then the Lava Pups are gone, and then your Cannoneer and Fly Machine start to target their supporting cards. So it's practically impossible for Lava Hound players to get cost-efficient trades against this deck. This guy's got a Vault Peck in the banner. Let's see if he's cooking that card. First play for us is going to be Cycling the Bomber in the back. It's a 2 elixir card that will give us the evolution. Forcing out arrows on it. +1 trade for us all day. We take those. No arrows, no bomber. I think we barrage the bridge with our Royal Recruits, especially because our homie has a Cannoneer tower. So we're going to face plant our recruits directly on that tower. I do think that we're ready and set to do over 1,000 damage despite him having Mega Knight. Like, this is going to be an insane victory dance for us. Even though the Fly Machine gets 2-tapped here, it's still worth it. I like going Goblin Cage to pull the Mega Knight pretty deep into our territory and then waiting for his Bomber to hopefully hit the Goblin Cage Brawler. Because if our Bomber shoots first, oh no! I was going to say it survives! Bomber, why'd you gotta do that to me? We did get a +3 trade with the Goblin Cage directly into the Mega Knight, and then we can go Goblin Slide on the Ram Riders. So if y'all are wondering what the best answer in the game to a Ram Rider is, typically it's going to be Goblinstein or your own Ram Rider with this deck. Generally, either situation works out pretty well. I don't think that's on the tower, so I'm not going to pop the ability. I could get overzealous, but I think that would cost me the L. Also, the guy has very limited answers in his deck to evolved recruits when he doesn't have Elixir for Mega Knight. If he gets Elixir for Mega Knight and drops it in the middle, it probably won't be able to hit both of the recruits at the same time, since one of them were charging and the other one was delayed. So yeah, we're in a good spot. This is awesome. Currently in a position where we might be able to snag 2 towers to 0 against Mega Knight. This deck is so disgustingly dominant if your opponent has one card that they're relying on to clean up one of the Royal Recruit sides. Because sure, Mega Knight does phenomenally against one Ram Rider plus recruits, but you're going to pile on pressure on the other side and your opponent can't deal with that. Even then, like, that's what I'm talking about. The Ram Rider broke through the Mega Knight. Like, Clash Royale nerfed the wrong thing. This is what Lucas was talking about. If you decide that it's appropriate to nerf the Ram Rider's damage, not going to be an impact, because the Ram Rider getting the dash or the charge and hitting the tower randomly, that right then and there was the problem. Through the Mega Knight, the King Tower activated, and the other tower, it didn't matter. The guy still got wrecked. Also, try to go Goblin Cages like this, because the Ram Rider, it will slow down the Goblin Cage Brawler if you drop it in the middle, and then the Goblin Cage Brawler will never catch up to the Ram Rider. So if you drop that Goblin Cage in the middle like I just did against that Ram Rider, that is the most cost-effective and best placement to counter him. Also, this guy's going in. He's going crazy. I've never seen someone drop archers at the bridge like that. Holy man. He's like, I might not be able to afford a Mega Knight, but with 6 Elixir, I have the new scuffed Mega Knight. And I admire his resolve, ramming down with the Ram Rider on the left side. And it's funny because you have to watch the animation play out where the Ram Rider is getting close to the Princess Tower, but it's like, you know what? You won this match. I'm going to give out hugs instead of damage. Even when you play against Mega Knight and Bomber with this recruit stack, it's still your playground where Ram Rider runs rampant. Royally poke the like button, subscribe for daily content, and check out the pinned comment if you want to see the live stream where I went 11-0 undefeated with this deck on ladder. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one.